Hey y'all, it's your boy Perplex Cerebral Cortex Reviews. This is the sports edition of Cerebral Cortex Reviews. This segment is strictly sports, primarily hoops, primarily basketball, primarily NBA. Because NBA is hot, man. And if you ain't talking about the NBA, you ain't talking about sports right now, because that's the king of sports right now. That's my take. Listen, we already know what happened to the NBA a couple days ago, unfortunately. But we have a bigger fish in the pan that we got to fry. You know, we have an issue going on in the world. My thoughts and prayers goes out to everybody. You know, y'all keep safe, keep God in your head and hearts, and let's keep this train rolling, y'all. You know, but anyway, when the NBA come back, everybody gonna have about 20 to 24 games to go in the season. You got teams that's way below 500 trying to fight for playoff spots. You got teams that's kicking ass right now that's dominating the league, such as like Los Angeles Lakers, the Clippers, and the Milwaukee Bucks. So if you used to cancel the season, that's the worst case scenario, you're doing a disservice to them. Even though I know we have health issues out there that's way more important than hooping, but I think things are going to get better, and when they do get better, you're going to come back, and you can't, you gotta start the season back up. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be in 30 days, y'all. I'm going to call it. I don't think it's going to be in 30 days. I think it's going to be more so like 2 months to 3 months. Because they have to, make sure this situation is subsided before you try to put sneakers on the basketball court again. So I think they're going to do a tournament-based bracket system just to speed things up. Because according to the sources all over the webs, they're not even talking about the season anymore. Every time you hear somebody talk about the NBA, you talking about crowning a champion. We got to get a champion crowned. We want to get the season back up and running so we can get a champion crowned. So they could probably care less for these last 20 games, 24 games. They want to put the Larry O'Brien on somebody so we can go ahead and go on to the next season from there. So that's what got me believing further, that we're going to do probably a March Madness type of bracket based system when you got the top 16 teams in the NBA vying for, that trophy, that beloved jewel. Man, I mean, you got Milwaukee, you got the Lakers, Clippers, you got Houston Rockets, you got Miami Heat up in there, Boston Celtics, Philly. Man, the list goes on, y'all. But this is perplex. This is Perplexes Take. To really get the people moving into the seats, to get the NBA ratings to an all-time high, to get the fans, the viewership at an all-time high. This would be crazy. But people complain about this, but I think it'll be crazy. This is Perplexes Take only. Include all 30 teams. Shoot, best out of 3. And just let them duke it out. Because you do got teams that, they're way below 500, but a win streak here and there, they back in the playoff mix in the 8th spot. So you could do that. All 30 teams, best out of 3. Like how they used to do the beginning of the playoffs, man, back in the 90s. Best in the 80s. Best out of 3. One round, whoop, and move on up to the ranks until people start falling off. But that's a lot of NBA to be played, and that's just wishful thinking. And then you got a chance for somebody to be a hero too, man. You got a chance for a team like, the San Antonio Spurs or the Pistons or somebody that's way below 500 to come in and have a couple upsets, and next thing you know, they're in the Final Four. That'd be crazy. But I think a lot of people will love it because me personally, I love the underdog, the beloved underdog. That's what keeps me viewing. But they're not gonna do what I say. They're more likely gonna do a tournament based system. Where the best 16 teams, and that's only fair, are gonna vie for that Larry O'Brien trophy. And they were touching upon this a couple of years ago, if you guys remember. Where they were thinking about using the best 16 teams and just putting them in a playoff bracket and let them duke it out. because they said at that time, 2 years, 3 years ago, that the NBA was pretty much lopsided. The parity wasn't there. I mean, you had the Western Conference was much more superior than the Eastern Conference. And I can agree. But now it's much more even now. That's my take. I think it's much more even. It's not quite there yet, but it's not where it was. The Western Conference isn't coming to the East and dog walking us anymore. It's a lot different. That's how the NBA should be anyway. But tell me what you guys think, man. You guys think we're gonna come back and run the season right where it left off? I don't think so. I mean, let's just talk about that a little bit further before I get off. I mean, say if they come back, and want to run the last 20 to 24 games of the regular season, and you say that they start that up around the earliest of May, that's 2 months from now approximately. You're talking about going into April, May, June, probably the middle of June, and then you got to run your playoffs. Now you're talking about an extra month and a half to 2 months. I mean, that's going to take a long time. You're talking about all up, and you into the training camp realm or beyond the training camp realm of the next season. And I don't think Adam Silver is going to cancel the season. I mean, it's too much money on the table. The NBA is a business, y'all. Too much money on the table. And you're doing a disservice to the teams who are really kicking behind right now, who is rolling right now. They worked for that all season, training camp. They worked for that. So you just can't cancel the season once everything get better and the sneakers hit the basketball court again. But I think the season is over, but they're going to come back and just start the playoffs. And I hope they use Perplexes way and just include all 30 teams and just have them just duke it out for that trophy, man. That'd be so pure, man. And guess what? Kevin Durant might be back, right? Well, all this rest, he's supposed to come back in the spring, summer anyway. All this rest, Kyrie coming back, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons coming back. Is Blake Griffin going to be back with the Pistons? They got to hire Luke Kennard. A lot of cats going to be back, man. I'm telling you, man. So it's going to be nice. Victor Oladipo, Indiana going to be much more healthy. Oh, man. You talking about cats, man, saying, hey, we in something like this, man. I'm feeling good. No, man, I'm going to go ahead and lace up these sneaks, get these Nikes on tight. Man, woo, man. The possibilities are endless, y'all. Because it ain't going to be 30 days, y'all. They're not coming back in 30 days, man. We still got to figure out what the heck is going on. And we got to figure out how we're going to contain this situation. And I'm not going to mention what it is. The world knows what's going on and what I'm pertaining to. But you heard it from me. It's the first episode of the sports edition of Cerebral Cortex Reviews. I love your support. I miss y'all. I shall return. I shall be back. Peace.